Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you yet another Monster Legends 72-hour event challenge video, where we talk about the newest 72-hour challenge. What are its contents? Are they good? Are they not good? How do you do said event? And all that jazz. So how you do, well, first off, let's talk about how you do these things. You do 72-hour event challenges by collecting. It's all about amount. It's based on the amounts that you collect, pretty much. So there's always based on your level. That's why a lot of reasons why people don't like increasing their level all that much. It's totally based on your level in the game. These are basically events for new players. They're basically events or chances for new players to get stuff. So these are really good for people with really, really low levels. On the other hand, if you're a high level player like me, they're not exactly fair for you. You'll see people get to clear 2 rounds of this, like get all three, like get a total of like 6 monsters, and you'll probably walk away with like one. And that's just like the good one. That's it. Usually, not all the time. In recorded past history, the exchange rates have might not have never been fairish. But yeah, basically, the amount of coins you get is based on the amount of production of gold, food, and I do believe you get coins for breeding too. So if you breed a legendary, you get a lot of coins. You get a lot, just tons and tons. If you actually get a legendary monster, you get a lot out of it. You get a lot of coins out of it. Those don't ever change. The only value that never changes is breeding, I believe. There might be another one, but I think that was the case. I think breeding is the one that never changes regardless of a level. Oh, and PvP. PvP too. This is also a good time to do PvP. Win your PvP fights because you get coins for it. You get like 80 coins unless they've changed it for this event. For each time you win a PvP fight. Very important that you win those. Very, very, very important that you do. Especially for this one. Because you can get a rank 2 Kihaku, unless you're like my level. The nice thing is, if you're like a high level, the exchange, the thing is, you get a better ranked up monster for it. Which is really, really, really good, but it just increases the I mean, that just means you have a more difficult time getting it. It's all about what you have on you in terms of gold at the moment, because one of the main sources of coin income is the food you collect. This is the best time to fire up your food temple. You should have this maxed out specifically for this event. It's very important that you do, and save up all your gold for just this occasion. Everyone saves all their gold. Every single person saves all their gold for 72-hour event challenges and then just uses them. Me, I had to use a little bit of my food. I would have a lot more and feel a lot more comfortable, but I'm just over 1.5 thousand, like 1.759. So, not anywhere where I'd like to be. I would have been more comfortable with 2.5 billion. But I just had to feed monsters. I had to get stuff done for war purposes. It's just one of those things I had to do. But you get my point. Now that you have your food temple fired up and ready, you should be planting black lotus roots. I don't actually have. I actually accidentally forgot to do that. I forgot to set everything up. Not a problem. I haven't fired up my temple yet. Still early in the event. Like it's the beginning of the event. It doesn't matter. But basically, you plant every single farm you have. You have all your farms out. You plant black lotus root on every single one. Fire up your temple and collect that coin. And after each cycle, it's very important that you do this. You have one lizard. You have one lizard out. You do that. You do the lizard after you've done all black lotus root. You collect all your food, put out a little lizard, and then you should get all your coins. You should do that twice just to make sure you get everything. It's very, very important that you get all your coins. Very, very important. What else? What else? What else? But yeah, that's your main coin income. Save all your gold nodes. I'd wait like a good 8 hours before collecting gold again, because you want as much gold as possible. You want to wait till all your gold pits are full of gold. I don't know why I call them pits, but they're habitats. But you gotta stack all your all your habitats, because the more gold you collect, the more coins you get. It's very important that you do that. You want as much coins as possible. As much coins as possible, period. Conditionally. So I'd say collect either every 12 hours or 8 hours. Just estimate when it takes to get all your, your legendary habitats, coin pits filled, or, the habitats filled. I keep calling them pits. I don't know why. But you gotta make sure all of them habitats are filled with gold so you can get a lot of coins. And so you can get that last monster, Kyaku, which this might actually be the best 72-hour challenge because of the last monster. Just simply because of the last monster. Regardless of what the other two monsters are, or even the cell monster that you could get, there's always like a secret monster you can get if you choose to. And this thing just overshadows everything. And it makes it the best 72-hour event challenge ever because you can get Kyaku. Again, you can get a rank 2 Kyaku if you're my level. It's different for others, but this is still a good price. Even if it wasn't ranked up, it's still good. It's still very, very shiny diamond brightness. It is a very, very good prize for this event. It doesn't surprise me, to be honest. This doesn't surprise me that he's the last. He's the 72-hour event monster that is given because of the Oikawa that was in the last maze event, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did anything relating to that, and this was the monster they decided on. And yes, because it's obvious that they didn't do Baba Yaga because Baba Yaga was in the last 72-hour event challenge, and she was also in this maze, so that resulted in this. And I'm approve it. It's a really good monster. I also believe this is gonna tip the balance of the game. Everyone's gonna eventually hate this monster because of just how good he is, and he's gonna be on every defense team. It's gonna be disgusting because he has very few problems at the moment. He is just like this ultimate denier that just doesn't have any problems. Very few things bother it. I'd say Warthog is just one of those monsters, which is actually one of the dungeon monsters at the moment. It's a really, really good monster. So we're going to go over with each monster, and we're going to explain the value of said monster. Incanitus. I thought this was a terrible epic at first. It's actually one of the best ones. It has AoE poison. It has, I think did it have AoE bleed? No, I don't know. Oh, no, it had AoE blind. That was like, it can blind and poison, and it's just crazy. It's got good utility, just at the cost of, not too bad stamina cost either. I thought the stamina cost was relatively high. It's actually not all too bad. Everything I thought about it was actually wrong, and it's just a really, really, really good epic monster, and you can get it at rank 1. This is a good epic monster, but for the most part, I do recommend just going straight for Kyaku. I really, really recommend that. Save all your coins at the end too, and then look at the wiki to see the exchange exchange rates for said monster, to see if you have enough. Let's say you didn't have enough for Kyaku. Just check the wiki and to see what the price is for after using if you were to use all your coins on said monster Kyaku's thingy, how much the price is, and then try to look up the price for what it would be for a rank 2 monster if you were to invest in the 249 price, and just determine that from there. One time I do believe for Baba Yagas I didn't have enough to get her. However, I did pretty much get a really good deal out of it. I pretty much got it at a lower, or pretty much a lower price than if I would have just gotten it, bought the 249s at crack. It just saved me a lot of time. It is a really good thing too. A lot of people don't have to spend gems in this event because of their level. They usually just get enough income to get it naturally. Others aren't so lucky, and a lot of times it's usually worth it to do it. So, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, Incanitus here. Really good epic again. Is it worth going for? No, because you should be going for Kyaku. Fire Reel. Okay, I also thought this thing was terrible. I also thought this monster was indeed terrible. It is not. It is not by nowhere means terrible. This is a support monster. With DOT capabilities, he has an AoE burn on a 1-turn cooldown, an AoE skill on a 1-turn cooldown that does 40 damage, so he can do constant AoE damage, really bothersome stuff. This man can bother people, because all of his AoEs on a 1-turn cooldown. 1-turn cooldown AoEs are amazing. They're just good. And that's why I like Rignal for it. This thing is a combination of Firina and Rignal, and this thing inherited one of his an AoE cooldown thing. That's one of the things he inherited. He also inherited his trait too with the immunity to stun and mega stun. He's got the celestial trait, so he's immune to stun, mega stun, and bleed. Which is really good, because he also can apply immunity to freeze. So basically, he can be immune to 2 out of 3 of the most common denies in the game, which is stun and freeze. The only thing that could possibly bother him is possession. So that's actually really huge. For, it just is. But you get the very, very good value out of this thing. It's a really good support. It has an AoE damage boost, precision, and stamina buff. Regen buff. It's really, really good. That's a really good buff. It has AoE double damage, remove all negative effects. It has what was the other thing had? It had one more thing, but I pretty much said some of the big ones, some of the big things about it. It has the immunity to freeze, the AoE damage boost, precision, stamina, the AoE burn. It did something else. There was something else that it did, but I can't remember what it did. But I think I just said the good stuff from it. I think I just said all the important stuff. I might have missed one thing, but I think I got the majority of it down. It's not all too bad of a support monster. Its stats all around are all right. It doesn't have too bad of stats. It's kind of slow. It's in the 300 range, 377, I believe. Or 37. I think it was 377. So 3,377. Not the fastest monster. I don't think that matters, because you'd probably run full team speed or like a speed and 2 team lives anyway, based on supporting builds. But regardless, this is a good support. I still wouldn't say you should go for it. Despite me saying that it's a pretty good support, I would say don't go for it. Just go for Kyaku. That is the most important thing in this event. But if you don't like the idea of if you just barely get the monster to the point where you have to spend gems and you don't want to spend those gems, then I guess you can go for Viral. Viral's pretty much the monster that you can for sure get. Like, anyone can get this probably, unless the exchange rates were terrible in the 72-hour event challenge for a player. Then, but yeah, I'm still gonna say go for Kihaku. And again, even if you don't reach that price, again, look at the wiki too. If you reach the price where you would pay the same or a lot less than the price you would have, it's worth getting. It is really, really, really worth getting, especially if you're getting it at rank 2. But again, that's only if you get it at rank 2. Don't do it if you don't even if it's not given at a ranked up value. Rank 2, it's really, really good. So yeah, this is Kihaku. I didn't even press the icon here. But yeah, this is Kihaku. Kihaku is busted. Oh, I just like to say too. Was this actually? Where's my voice is cracking. Is this actually? This one was in 3 books too. Both of these monsters are also really good because they're in 3 books. This one's actually in both Good and Evil Legions with the winged. So he's also part of the winged book. He's one of the more useful winged monsters. But now we're going to get to Kihaku here. This is the main prize. This is why this event is possibly the best one. Because Kihaku is busted. He is stupid. Oh, wait. It was like sad. There we go. That was the acronym for it. If you ever watched my guide on it, he is sad, stupid, and dumb. This guy just is the emphasis of that. Like, whoever made this monster is probably the same guy who made Voltec. Probably. He's probably that same guy that's like, I wonder if this is a good design. I think this is good. There's no way this is busted. Yeah, this is fair. Yeah, like two deny types AoEs. Yeah, this is fair. This is good. Oh, hey, why don't we give him AoE life regen and AoE stamina regen all in one move, or just make a full set of deny that does the same thing. All of it. Let's do that. It's probably that guy. It's probably that same guy. Man, man, dude, this is busted. This is dumb. This is exactly, in all honesty, this is play the box. This is exactly that monster. He has the hardened trait. All of his control is dumb. He has a really, really good chance for his team to win. He's a very stupid pick. He is broken. He pretty much says, "Why are you playing this game at this point with me? I'm too dumb. I'm too dumb. The chances of you winning are extremely high, good sir, and you're using me. Why are you using me?" That's basically what this monster, usually says, because he knows his power is too good. It just really is. I like to call it Master Roshi and Dratini. I couldn't name it that fully, but I named it Master Roni. Roshi. But yeah, I pretty much made a joke about this being like Master Roshi and with a Dratini. Master Roshi with a Dratini, because that's what the baby form is pretty much. Baby Master Roshi and a Dratini. No, it's like Master Roshi with a Dragonair. But yeah, this is really busted. Because all of its deny is 2 sets, and there's 3 out of its 4 skills have a AoE scaling effect. So, and it procs free. If you're not, the thing is, if you're not frozen, you're probably going to be possessed. If you're not possessed, you're going to be frozen. So, regardless of the situation, it's never good for you. Like never. It's never good for you. If this thing goes, you probably have a really, really high chance of losing. Just an extremely high chance. It's that dumb. There are very few things that can get around this. This is why he's played the box pretty much, because there's very, very, very few things that can get around it. Specifically, artifact traits, totem, with his spirit buff, spirit trait, which I think, again, if that spirit trait ever goes on any other monster that's like an attacker or denier, every single person would use it. Every single person would use it. But again, that's another trait that could get around it. Hardened users, a lot of hardened monsters could possibly sneak their way around and get the victory for you. In fact, one of his few counters just so happened to be the Thunder extra turn monsters like Voltic, like Xyla, and Mercurius, on the condition they don't get frozen, and they get possessed, but they don't get frozen. You're more than likely to win with the Voltic and Xyla, just because they actually have the hardened trait. Mercurius just has immune to stun. But you get my point. Those are very specific monsters that can counter this thing, and you won't be seeing them all too much anyway. Again, this thing just has very few problems. It doesn't care about anything too much. Pretty much destroys a lot of monsters, especially the mountain monsters. If the mountain monsters face this man, they have no prayer. They have none. they don't have they have no say, because his ability of possessing them, they just don't have anything to say to this man. He's just too good against them. He's too powerful. Another way to beat Kihaku here is actually with Vaati Annoy, as strange as this sounds. Or like one of those, that's just a example. Something that gives immune to possession to everyone. Like a Bowtie, for example, like Vaati Annoy, for example. I'm just saying a monster of his element. I do believe Vaati Annoy is in 2 of the same books as Kihaku. I don't know if he's in Good Legions or not, but I do know Vaati Annoy is both in the Dragon book and the Water book. If you were to build Vaati Annoy full speed and you ran 2 mountain monsters, this idea came from Gabriel, who was one of my subscribers. You would run something that gives immune to possession, and then run 2 mountain monsters. Basically making those mountain monsters immune to, all of his shenanigans, and increased win rate phenomenally. Again, that's very, very specific team comps to beat this thing. You need very, very, very specific ones, and you need him not to go before said monster, so it's really hard to do. It is extremely hard to do. I believe if you ran the other 2 monsters with full X team speed, you would still have a pretty good chance of winning, even if you didn't have much damage at that point. I do believe if this thing just got a lot of turns in, it'd be fine with that. It's just one of those monsters, and I don't even I'm not even too much of a huge fan of team speed. I'm not too much of a fan of it, but like I would do that. If that would be a defense team that I would do. I'd just run full team speed on the other 2 monsters, and it wouldn't really matter all that much because I'd still have a pretty good chance of winning. Just because, again, if Kyaku gets the first punch in, it usually means death for the other team, usually for the most part. It's really hard to get around this monster. You really have to wait till either its stamina is down to 0, or it goes for its, single targets, deny, and or its AoE life regen, which have a really low chance anyway. Like, it has a very, very, very low chance of doing that, because, it's 3 out of 4 skills. He's going to more than likely do an AoE deny, and the other 2 monsters can refill his stamina. Like you could bring an Invarv, you could bring a Thedes, you could be that guy, and you'd still win. You'd just deny him for days, and it'd be dumb. It'd be stupid. The enemy's just gonna kill themselves and freeze over. I find that he's really dumb with Yamada. I actually used him first with, I actually used this monster at the same time I first used Yamada, and I used Hydrotilla with that, and that's just dumb. Like, freezing for days, like, deny for days, I didn't have any damage. There was no damage except for, like, the damage boost that Yamada provided. I had no strength runes, and I was fighting all 130s. And I won. Granted, all of them were freezers and they weren't immune to freeze, but in any other scenario, if they weren't immune to freeze, if it was a defense team that wasn't immune to freeze, I would still win it. I wasn't running any damage. The Kyaku was like level 100 with like a 5 and 3, like 2 3s, and my Hydrotilla was, obviously full X speed. And the Yamada was running the Team Life build, and I won. That's how dumb this thing can be. Like, you could just straight up deny the whole game and win. It's just dumb. It just is. It's disgusting, and you have to have this. It's very important that you do. It's a really, really, really busted monster. Very few complaints, very few things to say about it that has flaws. It has little to no flaws. There is no bad thing for running this monster. The one thing you could say that's bad about it is the stamina cost. It does have relatively high stamina costs. Mostly if you do it, it can do like the AoE denies 2 to 3 times, but at that point you've probably won. So yeah, I also think another possible counter for Kyaku is actually Hercule the Champ. No, I'm not talking about like the the BBC. I often make a joke about that. Mr. Satan, it's Satan, but Hercule as in the strong man, the circus man. That could possibly be a counter for Kyaku if it goes for his extra turn skill that removes all negative effects, because he's already immune to freeze, so he's going to get possessed, and there's a chance that he'll do that extra turn skill, and then you might have a chance to knock him out if the enemy was being kind of risky and wasn't running any team life or any sustainability, and Hercule might be able to knock him out with a single target skill, possibly, depending on your runes and depending on his rank. It's all depending on if you got the Hercule at rank 3 or not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, very few flaws with this man. I really recommend just going for this thing. There's really no reason not to. And again, this thing could possibly break the balance of the game because everyone's going to have this. Everyone will go for this monster. Everyone will get this monster. If they don't have enough points for it, they will surely spend either the lowered price that they would anyway to get it to rank 2, or just like if they got it at normal price range, they would still get it. This is a must-have monster. You need this monster. This is must-have for war. Extremely. It's a must-have if you can have it at rank 2. That's the thing. If you can get this at rank 2, it is a must-have. You need this. If you're offered this at rank 2, get this. It's very important that you do. There is one more monster that we are going to talk about. It's the secret monster. Now, every 72-hour event challenge has a secret monster that you could do. If you didn't like any of the monsters offered above, here, there is one more monster you could get. It's always been a condition that you could get it. It's always a secret monster. The secret monster for this 72-hour event challenge, you probably saw it already because I clicked on Kyaku here, is Egg Eater. So you can get a Egg Eater. Egg Eater is a very, very old monster. However, it's still a monster used to this very day. As you can see here, you can get enough for 80 cells, I believe. Yep, 80 cells. Which then you can use Elementium at that point to craft them. Or you could just wait. Or you could just get them, get the last 20 in the current cell sale. But this is still a monster used to this very day. Has very, very poor base stats. Very, very poor base stats, but it breaks that mold with having extremely, extremely good skills. Like, he has really, really, really good skills. It has two AoE possessions. One's a 50% chance, and it has an AoE blind and burn. And he has a single target poison skill that can stack that BOT. Really, really strong skills. Really terrible base speed. He's the only mainstream denier I do believe in the game at the moment that runs full speed with the speed of 3,399. Just really god awful slow. But he's an exception. There are a few monsters in this game that have exceptions. A lot of people don't like running slow monsters unless there's an exception for it. That's just one of those monsters because his deny is so powerful. Like his control is so powerful. It's just but it's a really, on the condition though, it's an old monster. Its base stats are slow, and you probably won't get the first punch in. It's still a really good monster. It's still really good. Not as good as Kyaku though. Easily Kyaku surpasses Egg Eater by miles just because you can get the first punch in and freeze them over and over again. So yeah, overall, fantastic 72-hour event challenge. Again, go for Kyaku. It's very important that you do. Save all your coins at the end, then look at the wiki, see the exchange rates, or like see the price that it would be based on your coin amount, and then go from there. If you don't have enough to make it worth it, if it costs way more than you would have done it, like if you would have just got it regularly, don't do it. Obviously, don't do it. If you can get it at a really, really cheap price, go for it. But if you can just get it completely, still, again, go for it. If you get all the coins for it that it's needed for it, go for it. Anything else I really want to say? Oh, I do want to say one thing, and this is kind of like off ML topic. I'd like to say happy birthday to my dad. It's my dad's birthday today, and I wish him a very, very happy birthday. So yeah, that's it for this video. Again, have an awesome day, and especially to my dad. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday. I'm Bid the Awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.